Live right now. Let's see here. I'm setting this up right here. Just making sure that we are good to go. It should be good. Yeah. All these guns up on display right here. Okay. Let's see here. All right, we should be live here. Also, I have live chat pulled up on a laptop here. So if you guys have any questions that you guys want to go ahead and ask, I'll be checking that throughout. But we're going to be waiting a few minutes just to go ahead and get started. Let a few more viewers join in on the stream. We got right here Malik Muhammad. What's going on, man? Cooper, Manley, Flapjack VR, Airsoft 75, Chase Guerrero, Rice Farmer, and Brad. Hello from Color. What do you mean Colorado? What's going on, man? Eli Prather, what's going on? I saw yours. DJ, what's going on, dude? All right, all right, all right. What's good? What's happening, guys? Let's see here, just making sure we are set up. Again, have a laptop here, so multitasking. I'm getting a little bit tech savvy, just a little bit more than I was before. I'm not so much of a caveman anymore. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot planned actually for this stream. There's actually quite a few guns I want to show off. Wanted to go ahead and go over some promos as well during the whole thing. There's more opportunities for you guys to go ahead and get more odds into the shopping for you. You guys, okay, that's kind of crazy to me. Like we are at literally, for those that don't know, we're at like $4,300. That is absolutely fucking wild. Like Brewer's literally getting dethroned right now. I don't know if he's watching the stream or not. Brewer's literally about to get dethroned right now. He was the king of the shopping spree giveaway, right? Like $4,150 to be exact, if I'm not mistaken. But now it's like 4,300. Like, dude, that's absolutely insane. And you know what the crazy part about it is too? It's just what I mentioned on the previous streams as well. Is that the last couple winners, they've all been. I think it was like their like one-time purchaser, right? It was like a first-time shopper too. Like the pinnacle of just beginner's luck, right? You just can't make that shit up. Let's see here. Aaron Gomez, you have your own store. So I don't own this. I have been working here for quite a while. I've been working here for 6 years. Yeah, I've been working here since 2017. So let's see if I did my math correct. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yes, I did my math correct. Monkey smart. All right. Also, let me know if the audio is coming in nice and crispy, if the audio is good and everything. Just want to make sure that we're all set, everything's fine. Remember, I'm a bit of a caveman when it comes to tech, so setting this all up is a bit of a labor for me. But again, it's all worth it if it all comes together. Leonardo Palomino, hey yo, what's up? What's up, bro? Texas Patriot. Sorry, I'm like, hey man, no worries, no worries. You are actually early. We're gonna get started in just about a minute, making sure that we are all good to go. Jason, what's going on, bro? You have any store? No, yeah, I definitely don't have my own store. Yeah. Did you see the new bill on airsoft banning or banning importation of imitation firearms? DJ, yes, I did see that earlier in the Discord. By the way, guys, if you haven't seen that, apparently there's this new bill that's going around that's going to be banning the importation of newer replica firearms. Hey, Justin, replica firearm team. Justin might be joining in on the stream every so often. Replica firearms. That's probably going to, from what I can understand, it looks like it's going to apply to airsoft as well. Don't know again like all the details regarding it because I just saw it this morning, but I did see that was shared on our Discord. And I did go ahead and leave a comment on there as well, and I did sign in and everything. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you go ahead and sign that as well. Because yeah, I definitely don't want us to end up like Canada, or Australia, or I think New Zealand. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing for New Zealand as well. I've had New Zealanders actually show up to the Cali store actually, and we started like chatting it up, and they were just telling me how strict it was over there when it comes to like airsoft, even gel blasters too now, which is like absolutely insane to me. Like again, it's just a toy. Like really, it really is all it is, just a toy. And gel blasters are not even like one-to-one size, and yet even they're still getting like flack for it. That seems kind of, I don't know. Again, not to get too political, but it just seems a little stupid in my opinion. Really. Let's see here. Let's see here. Make sure everyone needs to sign that doc against it. Yeah, no. If you guys haven't already, make sure to go and check out our Discord. That's been shared around. Make sure you go ahead and sign that as well. Because again, the more signatures they have, again, the more likely they are to not go ahead and pass that bill. And I would really hate to see a bill like that being passed in the U.S. Because again, like that's a pretty big blow to airsoft as a whole. I would really fucking hate to hear that when that happens. We're probably going to go talk about it more in depth about that later on. But again, if you guys haven't already, make sure to go check that out. All right. Okay, and all right, cool. It is now 3:36. It's about time we get started. Welcome to another episode of Range Talk with me, Isaias. Today we're going to be going over not so much new products, but we're going to be going over products right now that I feel like are really important in airsoft and don't really get talked about as much. We've talked a little bit about them beforehand, and for those that have been playing for a while, they do already own one. It's going to be talking about airsoft pistols, right? Airsoft pistols are going to be, I think, in my opinion, like a really cool piece of kit that everyone should own, right? Whether again it's just for the looks, whether it's just for having, on your person, just in case. Again, it is called a secondary for a reason. Yeah, I really do love having a sidearm slash pistol slash secondary on my person. It just makes me feel that much cooler, right? And I feel like when I talk to a lot of beginner players, they sort of have this. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of misunderstandings when it comes to pistols out there, right? As far as what pistol they need to go ahead and get, how much do they need to spend on a pistol? Because again, they are going to be gas powered. So to a lot of players, especially me when I first started playing too, right? When I hear the term gas blowback, right, or gas blowback pistol or gas blowback sidearm, it automatically raises like a flag in my head saying that, oh, this is going to be like really, really expensive, right? The audio is good. Yep, audio should still be good right now. Yeah, no, like it made me think it was going to be super expensive. I was going to have to spend like 200 something dollars plus, right, on my first airsoft pistol. And don't get me wrong, there are airsoft pistols like that exist, right? For example, the Pit Viper, right? This is one of the nicest pistols you can get right out of the market. Available at airsoftgi.com for pre-order right now. They are coming in soon. Again, they are just at customs right now, but again, coming in soon, guys. Coming in soon. But yeah, but when it comes to like sidearms, like I went quite a while in my airsoft career. I think for like 2 years, maybe even close to three. I think before I even considered like actually picking up a sidearm. Because most of the time I was just rocking just like my regular primary, and that was it, right? I didn't want to have to worry about a sidearm. But I want to go ahead and actually mention that why it probably is a good idea to go ahead and have a sidearm on your person. Why it's actually really really cool, and why it can actually be pretty useful on the field. But coinciding with the our discussion today about airsoft pistols, just wanted to let you guys know some of the promos we have going on for the shopping spree giveaway. Again, I mentioned earlier, but $4,300 are on the line. And if you want to go ahead and get a chance at winning some of that for yourself, make sure to go ahead and place a $20 order on Airsoft G. Again, literally, it could be anything. There would be BBs, green gas. You want to buy a gift card, by all means, some tactical gear. You want to get that helmet, maybe a plate carrier for yourself, whatever it may be. However, if you pick up an airsoft pistol, now it can be CO2 powered, it can be green gas powered, it can be a Glock, it can be an M9, it can be a Pit Viper. Does not matter what it is. As long as it is an airsoft pistol that is $100 or more, you will automatically be getting 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway so long as you order one before Monday night. Monday night is going to be the deadline. So order one of these bad boys. You want to get, actually, let's go ahead and get this camera closer, why don't we? Yeah, let's get nice and intimate, shall we? Let's see if we can go ahead and raise that a little bit. Yeah, right there. So yeah, pick up one of these bad boys, right? Whether it be something like this new Vorsk airsoft pistol, right, or Raven airsoft, where it's going to come included with a pre-installed red dot, or you want to go ahead and get something a little bit more basic. Does not matter. Airsoft pistol, $100 or more. Order before Monday night. That's 5 chances of winning $4,300 for yourself, which you don't want to miss. So let's go ahead and put that guy back down right there. But yes, so when it came down to airsoft pistols, or when it comes down to it, there are a ton of different options that are available to you, right? There are so many different platforms, just like a rifle, right? Whether it be you want to rock like M4 and AK, right? 416, MP5, M14, doesn't matter. There's a ton of platforms out there. And just like rifles, if there's a pistol that exists out there, more likely than not, there's going to be an airsoft equivalent to it, right? I've mentioned before, one of my favorite like low-key pistols out there, one of my favorite retro pistols is Browning High Power, right? I love Browning High Power, and WeTech does make one actually, so that's pretty cool. That's something I'm actually probably gonna be picking up fairly soon for a kit that I'm working on. But when you start off in airsoft, there's going to be a lot of different choices, and it can become overwhelming as to which one you want to rock with. However, honestly, when it comes to pistols in general, one of my personal favorites to go with is going to be, especially if as a first timer, would honestly be to go with a high kappa, something like one of these guys. Now you don't have to get this one specifically, but going with any sort of Tokyo Marui spec high kappa is going to be probably your best bet when it comes to getting into airsoft like gas-effect pistols, right? And the reason why I mention that is because, well, one, there are a ton of different manufacturers for some guys like this, right? This is a 4.3, but if you want to go on and get a longer one like a 5.1, that one's pretty fucking very popular as well. Again, there are so many different manufacturers. Whether you go with something like an Army Armament, you want to go ahead and go with something like, again, one of the new Vorsk pistols. You want to grab, let's say, a Lancer Tactical. Yeah, even they make some really nice like high caps as well. They have like their Nightshade and their Strike series. Those are really, really cool. There are a ton of different options that are available for you, right? But internally, for the most part, well, obviously, some of the parts themselves, as far as the quality, might vary from brand to brand to brand. They're going to be very solid platforms, honestly, for you to start building. Now, airsoft guns as a whole doesn't really, in my personal opinion, again, I plan for the worst, right? No matter how much money you spend on your airsoft gun, no matter what gun you end up picking up, something at some point or other is going to wear down. So when that does happen, it's important to be able to have a platform that you can readily find parts for you, right? Whether it be, even just magazines, right? Even if it's just like a standard Tokyo Marui spec high kappa magazine, being able to find these pretty much at most places and most websites is going to be very, very easy. And of course, we got you covered too. We got a fuck ton of these pistol magazines as well. You want to go and get extendos, you want to get drum mags for them. They exist. They definitely exist out there. So you have plenty of options and plenty of choices of you, which again, as a consumer, is going to be a positive for you. So something like a high kappa, right, is definitely going to be a like 100%. We'll always recommend no matter what experience level, but especially as a beginner. Now, you don't have to necessarily only go with a high kappa. There are actually a couple of other options. I want to take you because there are actually a few more pistols I want to go ahead and show off to. I'm going to bring to the range. I wasn't able to get them in time, but I'm going to bring them out just so you can come and see with me. Let's see here. Tour time. Nice shot. We got a bunch of pistols here. You can take a look at all these Golden Eagle pistols, for example, right? These are sweet. Most of these guys are going to be less than $130. These guys usually retail for like about 123, 125 bucks, right? Let's see here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you guys one up close. Yeah, like let's say take one of these guys. Okay. It's a Golden Eagle high kappa, right? Full metal construction throughout, very nice serrations on there, lower accessory rail, so you can put whatever accessories you like on there. And again, something like this is only going to be retailing for about 125 bucks. So you're saving yourself a ton of money that you can spend later on like everything else that you need for airsoft. Whether it be a face mask, green gas, BBs, literally any other supplies that you might need, you're going to be covered on that. So we're going to grab, almost forgot this. I'm going to grab this guy, and we're going to go ahead and grab this one as well. I'm going to talk about it as soon as I bring it out to the range. Moving. There we go. So another option, because I mentioned there are so many other various brands that exist out there. Another one that you can go ahead and rock with is going to be an Army Armament. Army Armament is actually one of my personal favorite brands in recent years. In the last, 2-3 years, I've actually been very impressed with the level of quality that they've offered and for the price as well. So, something like this, right? This is the R612C. This is going to be like a 3.8, but it's super, super small. Oh, here's my mic. The microphone seems to be on. Everything seems to be good. Let's disconnect this. Audio still coming in good, guys? Let me know if the audio is still coming in nice and clear. Want to make sure that we're all good. Showing green on my end. Doesn't look like it's dying. This one's actually been charged. But yeah, this is going to be the... All right. Now it's good. All right, cool, good. So the Army Armament R612 is going to be retailing, I believe, for about $145, $146. This one is going to be using a hand-stippled grip right here. It's very, very aggressive. It actually fits really nice into the hands. I love nice stippled grips. It feels very like I get a really positive, aggressive, like firmly grasping it, right? Firmly grasped onto the actual pistol itself. Like it's not going to slip out of my hands. It's not going to go anywhere. I've done it before, like hand stippled grips myself, and it's fine, but it just never comes out this nice. I always feel like this is really good. It is going to carve up gloves. I will note that. Like that is one downside of like really aggressive stipple jobs. They are going to carve up the gloves pretty bad over time. But honestly, for me, it's worth it. Another cool thing about this one too, is that this one is actually going to come included with an Armor plate on here, or a little micro red dot plate on here. So you can mount compatible like micro red dots on here, and you'll still have, again, that's why these sights are raised. It's just a really, really cool design, man. You can find internal parts of this bad boy pretty much anywhere, right? Of course, we got you hooked up with the upgrade parts as well, and magazines too. This is not a like proprietary magazine. This is going to be a magazine that you can find pretty much anywhere, no matter where it is that you go, which again is always going to be a positive, right? And again, for like less than 150 bucks, fucking worth it, honestly. Like really, it really is. And again, order one of these bad boys before Monday night, and you're going to be getting 5 chances of winning 1,000 or fucking 1,000. What am I saying? $4,300. That's fucking crazy. $4,300. I mean, seriously, can you guys fucking imagine that? You place an order for like some BBs, some gas. Maybe you just pick up some magazines, right, for your high cap or your pistol, and then you end up winning over 4K, $4,300. Like, that is absolutely fucking mind-boggling. I can't even imagine what I could do with that, right? I mean, obviously, yeah, I'd buy myself some guns, but even if I bought everything that I wanted to with that prize pot that we're giving away, I would still have a good, maybe like more than half left over. I wouldn't know what to do with it. So again, all that money can be yours, but again, you just got to make sure that you place your orders. Is it hot, Isaias DJ? Yeah, dude, it's fucking hot in here. If you guys don't see here, I'll go a little behind the scenes, little BTS right here. This light is fucking atrocious. It's perfect, right, for like spotting up stuff, but man, oh man, like I feel the warmth instantly. It is really, really freaking bad. Put this right here. All right, that should, yeah, that should be good. We'll have it down so you can see more of the actual gats that we got here. Now, there are other platforms that you can go ahead and get as well when it comes to airsoft. Let's say you want to go ahead and get something like, there's another very popular model. This is a Glock 19. Glock 19s are probably, I would say, probably the second most popular Glock configuration, only second to the 17. But even then, there are still so many guys. Even Cisco runs a 19 as well. I know he has a 17. He has freaking. Then again, Cisco has fucking everything, right? Like, what doesn't Cisco have, right? His whole like collection is basically the size, like I would say a quarter of what GI has. It probably wouldn't fit into like 2 cars, but yeah, the Glock 19 from Elite Force is going to be a solid option. And upgrade parts are actually becoming more readily available for it, with Unicorn Airsoft actually providing a lot of stuff that you can go ahead and upgrade it to. If you want to change out the entire hop-up assembly on this guy and barrel assembly, yeah, totally possible to go ahead and do that. We sell a whole kit on our website. You definitely worth checking out. It's definitely over $20 too, so you'll get an entry to the shop to give away. But yeah, these things are super dope. FPS should be shooting at about like 315, maybe about like 320 at the highest, right? Going to come included with obviously regular magazine. There are CO2 magazines that are available for this as well. They are cross-compatible with the 17 mags. It's just gonna, it's gonna be extended. It's gonna stick out a little bit, but it does work. One of my buddies on my team, he actually rocks a 19X, and he uses both the CO2 and the green gas magazines. And he's left it completely stock, and even then, it's actually worked like really, really well. Two own roughly almost 75 replicas. DJ, damn, dude, 75. That's impressive, man. That's really impressive. What number am I at? Honestly, I think I've lost track after like 15. Like after 15, I just stopped counting. Like I don't, and even then, I have them scattered. I have some here at work on display, and then I have some in my garage. Those are the ones I usually use a little bit from Milson West as well. And then I have some at my parents' house still in storage, so I gotta get some of those. All right, but the Glock 19s and all the Glocks typically are going to start about like $169.99. Nice, and they're going to go up from there depending on the model that you end up getting. And there's a ton of different models too. If you didn't want the standard 19, you can also go ahead and pick up so you want to go ahead and get a 34 Gen 4. That is also going to be a very, very cool option as well. 34 is going to be like, I mean, here, just take a look at the size itself, right? Like, what? This is you. This is the guy she tells you not to worry about. But yeah, the Glock 34 is going to be pretty interesting because you can run green gas magazines with it. However, this one in particular is going to come included with the CO2 magazine. You know what? Let's go ahead and shoot this bad boy, why don't we? Go ahead and grab some CO2, why don't we? All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys with me. Just to see if you guys see, this is the store that we have here. Very nice, very nice. Hey, Stitch. Hey. Man, it is actually significantly cooler on this side of the freaking store. Let's go ahead and grab some CO2. Because some of those pistols actually should be good. I'm going to be shooting all those pistols, but I want to go ahead and grab some CO2 just in case. Make sure I have my Allen key set as well, that we can go and insert it. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see if there's any questions too. In the meantime, I can go ahead and answer as well. Yeah, and guys, just so you are aware, like any of these pistols that I'm like showing off right now, like yeah, they're all available on our website right now. If you order one of these before Monday night, you're gonna be getting 5 chances of winning the shopping spree. That's 5 entries that you guys can go ahead and get. $4,300. Fuck. All right, let's go ahead. So, in here for this guy, you are gonna have to take off the base plate in order to go ahead and move that, so you can get the big key needed to go ahead and insert your CO2 cartridge, because as is right now, I don't think there's enough space to, yeah. Right now, there's not enough space to go ahead and insert in there. On you have Stitch join me. I offered, if he wants to come in, it'd be cool, but again, I don't want to force him. Just go ahead and you would just insert into right here. Now I'm gonna go and grab an Allen key set. I'll be right back. What? I just need to go and grab my Allen key set. Oh, it's been a rush all day. My apologies for that. I had to go ahead and grab in my Allen key set. I left it here, but somehow ended up on the other side of the store. Go figure, right? All my stuff keeps moving. Let's see here. So we're gonna go ahead and take this Allen key set, and we're going to use. You can use a flathead for this as well, but that's a pretty big size that you would need in order to go ahead and adjust it like fully, I believe. So we're just gonna go ahead and use one of these because it makes our life a lot easier. Use one of this. Yeah, there we go. You're gonna twist until the cap comes down enough for you to go ahead and have enough of a cap to insert the CO2 cartridge. Take that, go ahead and insert here. There we go. Almost there. Just needs a little bit more. Just a little bit too tight. Needs a little bit more space. Almost there. Undo this. Almost there. All right. So once it's in there fully, then you want to go ahead and make sure that you actually stitch. I did ask him, and he said he was a little shy. So we're gonna go ahead and twist down. I'm gonna twist, and you're gonna hear it initially. This goes for pretty much any CO2 pistol. Anytime you're like inserting the CO2 cartridge, you are gonna hear a hissing sound going on. Don't panic. That's completely normal. That is the initial seal being punctured. Make sure to go ahead and just keep twisting. That again, it's gonna eventually stop. Just press it to your ear too. Once you think you're done, make sure you're not like missing any leaking. If there's still a little bit of leaking, twist a little bit more. If it's still leaking afterwards, then you actually might have an issue with the seal. At that point, then I would recommend contacting the manufacturer or swapping out the magazine. But honestly, like you usually don't get that issue like ever. At least for me personally, I haven't had that issue. Let's see here. Okay, should be good. All right, come on. Let go, let go, let go. All right, and then you go ahead and put the cap back on, lift up here, insert there, and that should be good to go. This button obviously going to be your release valve. We're not going to need to push that right now. Let's go ahead and insert some BBs into this bad boy as well. I have a speed loader ready to go just for such the occasion. Now, normally, you can go ahead and do this any way you feel. I'm just going to go ahead and do this the lazy man way because, again, I'm really tired right now. Let's see here. Let's see. Once you have that already inserted, again, that's just going to be enough to go ahead and test fire. Insert into the gun itself, slide back, and we're just going to go ahead and shoot. See if you guys can go ahead and see. One thing about CO2 too that I actually genuinely enjoy over green gas is that CO2 is usually going to be at like a higher FPS. It's going to be a little bit stronger than green gas, a little more pressurized, but it also doesn't have, at least from what I've noticed, it doesn't suffer the same amount of like the cooldown effect. Like it doesn't get as cold, right? Which again is typically what you want for your gas blowbacks. Because whenever it's cold, your gas efficiency just goes out the freaking window, dude. And CO2 seems to be a little bit more resilient towards that. But that's what's cool about the Elite Force ones is that, again, you can use either the CO2 or you can use the green gas magazines, and either or will work just fine for you. Plenty of guys prefer and will insist on using the green gas only. But again, I like my CO2 as well. Very cool. Yep, and it looks like we are out. And again, you're also going to have a lower accessory rail on here. So if you wanted to go ahead and put any sort of like flashlight, like say any one of those new Atlas Custom Works flashlights, you're more than able to. Very easy to go ahead and mount on. But yeah, that's just another option for you to go ahead and get. One of the first pistols I actually had was a CO2 pistol. I actually used to have an Elite Force 1911 TAC pistol. For those of you guys that know what pistol I'm talking about, that pistol's been around for freaking ever. That design has pretty much remained unchanged because it's just one of those guns that like you just see everywhere. Most cartridges are universal. Yeah, yeah. So like the CO2 that you usually get for Airsoft is gonna be like the 12-gram CO2 cartridge, and for the most part, like they're gonna all be interchangeable, right? I think there was only like one or two brands I remember off the top of my head that were kind of picky with which specific brand CO2 cartridge you use, just because the tip was just a little thicker on some and thinner on others. That was the only thing, but for the most part, like I remember using my Elite Force 1911, and like it didn't matter what brand CO2 cartridge, as long as it was 12 gram, inserted it correctly, it was gonna work no matter what, which is something that I preferred. Now the downside with one of those guys is that they were a lot harder to upgrade compared to like a again compared to just a standard TM spec green gas powered high kappa or 1911, right? Those you can find parts for anywhere. Like again, we sell like so much parts. We sell so much stuff, whether it be from Cow, um, Airsoft Masterpiece, Laylax, Ninebot, like so much shit that's available for it, right? And again, there are more stuff that is coming out for specifically the Elite Force or VFC Glocks, which is very, very cool. And I do love to see it. But again, if you were to compare the two, which one is going to have more options? Yeah, we are going to have to give it to the High Kappa and the 1911, at least the TM spec green gas ones. Because again, those have been around for a lot longer. It just, that is what it is, right? It's been around for a lot longer. There's going to be more support for it. Conditioner is causing more wear on the inside. Yeah, I have noticed that there is something weird about the Crossman CO2s. I remember specifically on the, I believe it's the KLI Baba Yagas. I remember someone trying to use Crossman CO2 on that one, and it was still like a little bit leaky. The mag was not broken. It was just that the nozzle itself was just sized slightly differently. Like the tip was just a little bit different. But if I use Jagarm CO2 on it, worked great, like fantastic, right? So just that's one of the only things that I would say. Let's see, that's what I was told. Stay away from CrossFit. No, you don't have to stay away from them necessarily, because again, I've used them on the Elite Force, I've used them on VFC OEM stuff, and great. But again, like you can use them if you want to, but just kind of keep that in mind depending on the brand you get. We thankfully we do sell other brands of CO2 on our website. We do sell like packs of Puff Dino CO2. If you want to go ahead and get the Jagarms CO2, that is another option for you as well. Again, there are plenty of options. You don't have to stick with just the one. There's not just one brand for it. You're covered. You're safe. You're safe, right? So would I recommend the Glocks as a starter pistol or something that you would go with as your first time pistol? You can, but again, it just depends on which one you go with. If you were, I would say, well, the only Glock you can legally get right now is going to be the Elite Force stuff. I would say it is an option, but they are a little bit pricier. Now, again, they're going to start at about $169.99, which isn't too bad, but that's going to be, again, a little bit pricier compared to, again, the 125 or 123 that you're going to be spending on again, just a Golden Eagle TM spec high kappa, right? One of these guys is only going to run you that much. Like it's significantly cheaper than the Glocks. Now I get it, licensing, of course, they are really, really high quality pistols, but these are not bad, like at all. I genuinely do think that these are a solid platform for pretty much anyone, especially if you're look as a beginner or even like an aspiring tech. You want to start upgrading your shit. This is a good platform to start learning on, right? Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the high kappa from this one. Since they're all interchangeable. Again, that's why I love high kappas too. Doesn't matter what brand it is. For the most part, they're all going to work with each other. So let's see. We insert that. There you go. It works just fine. Let's see here. For the Discord on the two-tone Glock 90 slide on the 45X frame. No, Ackright, I didn't get a chance to see that yet. I am going to be taking a look at the Discord again to take looking at that picture. That sounds pretty damn cool. So I'm going to go ahead and insert this with some green gas. And we're going to go ahead. Actually, it has some green gas. I came prepared this time around. Let's go ahead and just load some BBs in there real quick. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a little bit more BBs there. And again, guys, like I said it before, since all these pistols that I've talked about so far are over $100, you are automatically going to be getting 5 chances or 5 entries into the giveaway. As long as you order one of these guys before Monday night, you order one of these before Monday night, and you are going to be getting those 5 entries. But again, you have to do it before Monday night. So order it right now, like right now, right now, right now, right now. You'll be getting 5 chances of winning, and that's $4,300 that you can win too. So ain't no chump change too. We're gonna insert this. Shoot that, and there you go. Take a look at that. And honestly, like these are really snappy too. Justin and I noticed that when we first got these, and these are actually like quite a snappy trigger. Look at this. Look at this. That spraying action is really cool. And again, you are going to be getting ambi safety on here. You are going to be getting a fiber front sight, a little bit of like serrations on there, not like super deep cuts. Full black construction. There are so many different versions too. If you guys didn't see that like case that I pulled this out of, those are all golden eagles like Kappas. There's so many different variations, different colors too. If you want to get like a one that has like the split slide design, they offer that as well. If you want to get something with a gold outer barrel and gold accents or silver accents, those are always going to be a possibility. And they're all going to be the same price. The only ones that are even cheaper are going to be their 1911s. Their 1911s actually retail, I believe, right now for like 89 bucks, so like less than $100, which is insane. And again, they are going to be TM spec as well, so you can find parts for them, upgrade components. You want to find extra magazines, very, very easy. Do you have an SSG one? Not in store, but we do sell those. We do sell plenty of G&G products available on the website right now. Remember, order one before Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to get a chance at winning these shopping spree giveaway. Go ahead and keep shooting this bad boy, don't we? Gotta take safety off. There we go. Turn off this. So fun. I just love shooting guns. I just absolutely love shooting these bad boys. Let's see here. If you're using it. I am still using it. Just making sure that I'm not missing, because again, I am responding to comments on here as well. It's not just eating bandwidth, because I'm actually using it. Again, I said that I am actually responding to questions. So again, if you guys have any questions, make sure to go and put a Q in front of there. I'll try to answer it as best as I can. Again, trying to go ahead and do multiple things at once. They do have the red, black, and blue in stock on the website. Yes, DJ, we have those options available on airsoftgi.com right now. So make sure to go and place your order for one of those bad boys. Again, $4,300. It ain't no joke. I know one of the commenters already said that, but yeah, it ain't no fucking joke. $4,300 is an insane amount that you can go ahead and win. Yeah, bro, I hope you have a good day. All right, cool. So moving on. So that's one pistol that we have here, right? Another pistol that I get a lot of questions about is probably going to be revolvers. Revolvers are one of those like platforms that I get questions out a lot, especially from beginners, right? Or guys that are just looking for something a little bit different. And I get it, right? Again, they look cool. Like here, take this HFC revolver, for example, right? Looks really, really freaking cool. And the fact that it actually does have like the rotating like cylinder, right? And it comes out and you can do the whole like, oh yeah, I gotta do that. Yeah, like I get it, right? It's cool. But the problem with going with a revolver, many of the revolvers use a similar design in which the cylinder actually is functional, but it uses actual shells in here, right? That you have to go ahead and load up manually, and the shells can only take one BB at a time, right? Is great man Viva. Sorry, I have to go ahead and read that as well. Yeah, they're only going to come included with like maybe a couple of shells, and you can buy them aftermarket sometimes depending on the brand that you run. Some of them are going to be interchangeable with each other, but again, it is going to be a little bit frustrating when you find a model that you can't find the shells available in like packs outside. You know, you're going to have to stick with the ones that you get out of the box. It is a little frustrating, right? But with that said, these are really, really fun. Now, they can come in a variety of different like styles. This one obviously is going to be the green gas powered. You actually fill up with green gas. This is the loading nozzle, or not loading nozzle. This is the fill valve right here. Go ahead and insert with that green gas, right that back, and go ahead and fire this bad boy. Very cool. Now, the problem with this sort of style, again, is that it's going to be very inconvenient to reload in the middle of the game, right? If you're in the heat of battle, right? And again, nothing's going to beat the action of just, okay, I need to change mags, right? Swap out for another one, and you're done, right? Versus, oh, I'm out. Let me go ahead and take these shells out, right? And then swap them out for whole new shells. It's going to be quite annoying to have to do that every single time you want to go ahead and like reload your secondary, right? And worst case scenario, you could actually drop some of these in the middle of the field and lose them, which I've seen it happen before. Some of my buddies have actually tried to use revolvers, and they ended up like missing out on several games because they lost all their shells. For Christy Pope, I answered your question already. Please try not to spam the chat if you can, please. Thank you, much appreciated. What are the highest ammo cap for a revolver? Are there any that hold more than 6 shots? Yes. Normally, I actually planned on showing the Elite Force Hater, which I believe holds 10 shots. That one, I swore I thought I had it here, but I guess it's sold without me realizing it. That one actually, the Elite Force Hater holds about 10 rounds in its disc, and it doesn't actually use shells. It actually uses these discs, which you do have to manually load, but 10 shots is still going to be a lot better than just using 6 shots. Let's see here. For Christy Pope, again, please try not to go ahead and spam if you can. That'd be much appreciated. Try not to go ahead and spam, guys. It's not appreciated. I answered your question already. That's it. That's going to be the end of it. If you guys want to have any further questions, feel free to go ahead and message us on Instagram, Facebook, Discord. But again, the live chat, since I've already answered it, try not to go ahead and answer it again. All right, let's see here. SNW, yeah, R8, yeah, the R8 also holds 8 shots. Yeah, there's a few options that are going to hold more. 6 happen to be like the standard for a while, but there are more and more options that are coming out that are available actually right now that we sell that are going to have more than 6 shots. Well, again, it's just the idea of having to go ahead and load a shell or a disc. That's going to be a bit annoying. Sometimes you don't always get that. Sometimes you can load the BB directly into the cylinder, right? And there's like mock shells inside. But again, that's still going to be very annoying compared to just the classic, right? Like just drop the magazine, swap it out for the brand new one, and then you're good to keep playing. That's going to be the most convenient option. Again, that's why I'm still going to recommend you stick with this sort of design compared to a revolver. But again, if you were looking for something new, something unique, something different, then yeah, absolutely. I can totally get behind going with a revolver. There are whole airsoft games and events that are hosted around using like the Wild West, right? That they all use like revolvers like this. They'll basically say as long as it's a revolver, it'll be allowed. But they do encourage like the Elite Force smoke wagons, right? Those are always really, really cool to see. I love seeing those on the field. But it's all cowboy themed, right? So they all have to be using like lever actions, or they got to be using revolvers like this. So again, it is a viable option, just not going to be as convenient as say other platforms that exist out there. All right. Now, as far as the high cappers go, there are going to be other brands that exist out there, right? We went ahead and went with something like the Golden Eagle, right? There's also brands like Vorsk or Raven Airsoft, in which some of them might come included with a pre-installed red dot sight. Those are going to be really good bang for your buck high cappers. But let's say you had a little bit more money to drop and you just want to go out and get something a little bit nicer. Personally, if you genuinely want like the nicest high capper really on the market that you can get, and money wasn't too much of an issue for you, and again, there's still going to be a high capper, so that means there's still going to be plenty of like room for potential for upgrades. Then honestly, I would 100% get behind the Jagarms Pit Vipers. For anyone that has one of these or any one of the Terran Tactical Innovation pistols, y'all know that this is actually like fucking dope. Like these things are absolutely amazing. Texas Patriot, for real, sign me up. Take my money. Texas style, dude. Hell yeah, I would love to go one of those things. Don't get your orders to qualify by any airsoft pistol. Yes, again, buy this airsoft pistol or buy any of the airsoft pistols that I've gone over already, and you'll be getting 5 chances, 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway for $4,300. But again, you have to make sure you place those orders specifically for those guys before Monday night. You place it after Monday night, it's not going to count. You are going to get an entry, but it's not going to be the 5 chances. So that's why you got to take advantage of it now while you still can. But yeah, the Pit Vipers from Jagarms and pretty much any of the Terran Tactical Innovations pistols are absolutely amazing. They are beautiful to look at. You guys take a look at that right there. They're absolutely stunning. They look great. They feel great in the hands. They're going to be using a hand stipple on this Pit Viper here. Full metal construction throughout. It is going to be using a fiber front sight on here. You are going to be getting that sort of nice rose gold, not really copper. I like to say rose gold outer barrel in addition to the hammer as well. You are going to get this enlarged mag release button right here. Very big, but it's not like super big or cumbersome that it gets in the way. It's just right. You know, everything, I look at this pistol and I think this was just engineered absolutely right. Jagarms did an absolute bang-up job with this bad boy. Right now, this retails for about $220. Now, that is going to be a little bit pricey compared to some of the pistols that I have gone over. Yes, absolutely. But you are getting exactly what you pay for. This is going to be a top-of-the-line model high kappa that you can get. Now, it is going to be using that TM spec design originally, so there are still upgrade components that you can put into it. In fact, we actually sell upgraded versions of this pistol online. We sell the Performance Plus packages, in which we'll go ahead and swap out the inner barrel and bucking with a unicorn one. So that way you get better range, better accuracy, better compression. It just works. Again, like this thing is already freaking awesome. So the fact that we offer an upgraded version is just like insane, right? But again, if you were looking for something that was going to be solid, right, you don't have to touch any of the internals out of the box already in order for it to be considered competitive. This would be it, right? And again, this is going to be fully licensed. You are going to see the Terran logos throughout here, right? Even on the magazine. Very, very cool, right? Let's go ahead and shoot this bad boy away, don't we? But yeah, this one is going to be retailing for about $220 on our website right now. It is unavailable on a pre-order, means that they're not readily available. However, we did get confirmation that they were going to be coming in soon. They are just right now at customs. They're just waiting to get cleared out. As soon as they're cleared and we get our shipment in, we're going to begin shipping them out as soon as possible. But again, yeah, this is going to be one of those pistols that is going to qualify for the promo right now. So order this before Monday night. That's 5 chances you have at winning $4,300. Just saying, guys, you definitely don't want to miss out on that. Like $4,300. Again, I know I keep fixating on that number, but it's absolutely fucking mind blowing that we've gotten to that point and no one's been able to claim it so far. Like, come on, guys. Everyone has a chance. Like, literally, everyone has a chance. The guys' names who've been called like these last couple weeks, first time shoppers. It's all been first time shoppers. They place like one order and they just happen to be the winner. It can happen to you. It can happen to literally anyone. All you have to do is just place your order to be entered and make sure that you are watching the stream. Otherwise, you can't claim the prize. Let's see here. Cutter, Pit Viper is on the wish list. Yeah, Cutter. No, same. It's on the wish list too, man. He's late. No, do not worry about being late. You are fine. I still have much to my comment match to make the switch, but the Pit Viper is certainly sexy. I apologize. I am fixated on it too. Yeah, man. Like I feel you on that one. Like it doesn't matter how much money you spend into air. That's pretty much goes for anything air. So it doesn't matter how much money you spend into it. At the end of the day, like this is a hobby that we all love, right? So any new product that comes out, I'm just like, fuck, I want it so bad. Let's go ahead and just shoot this bad boy. Why don't we? Here, go ahead and so you can see that. Whew. It's just so good. It's just so good. Again, Jag Arms. If any reps from Jag, Tang, if you I don't know if you happen to be watching, just applause, man. You did a bang up job with this bad boy. But yeah, we sell other versions of this as well. If you don't want the Pit Viper specifically, there are other versions or other Terran Tactical Innovations pistols that are available as well. The Alpha, that's going to be another option. If you want the OG, the Classic Combat Master, that's going to be another option that is readily available for you as well on the website. Just make sure, again, place the orders before Monday night. Before Monday night, you get those chances at winning. So just do yourself a favor, do it. Because again, $4,300. Are you really going to skip out on that chance, on your chance at winning that amount of money? You know, just saying. But yeah, now that's out of the way. All right, cool. Now, there were some other guns here that I had actually brought out that I wanted to go ahead and discuss as well. These are guns that, I don't know, I just thought, one, I thought they looked really, really cool. These are all guns that are available on our website right now. But I brought them out for a reason. I wanted to go ahead and compare them to a certain gun that we have currently available. So, two of these guns that I have here, let's go ahead and swap this up. Why is it not working? There we go. So one of the guns that I wanted to go ahead and show up on stream, just because I thought it was like really, really cool, is going to be the Elite Force 416 competition. Now, this specific AEG is going to be one of my personal favorite AEGs currently on the market right now because of a very simple thing. It's an HK 416, right? If you've been playing Airsoft long enough, you know that like HK 416s are not usually cheap, right? They're usually really, really expensive. The full metal one is like $400 plus, and for a good reason. I get it. It's a fully licensed product. They have to pay for the licensing. It totally makes sense why they would go ahead and charge a premium for it. And it is using VFC construction, which, you know, for a while I always thought VFC internals were the best, right? As when I first started, and even now I still have an affinity for VFC internals. This one, however, is going to be the competition series, meaning that it is not going to be using the Avalon gearbox. However, with that said, I actually really dig this guy for the fact that it's a lot more accessible, right? The performance obviously is not going to be the same as the regular like 416A5, right, that VFC makes. However, the competition series makes it a lot easier for players who want to get into the milsim scene, right? For guys that want to go ahead and do like events like what I do, like milsim West, for example, or if you want to just put together an impression kit, if you want, or like specific loadout, right? If you wanted to go ahead and do like a whole dev crew thing or like Navy SEAL, or any sort of like SOCOM unit that uses the 416s, then yeah, this makes it a little bit easier and a little bit more affordable, right? You are still getting a version 2 gearbox, which is still fully upgradable. I threw on just one of my T1 sights on there just because I thought it looked cool, right? It's my first one. I think it looks cool. And just sort of again, Airsoft gun because it does have the replica. Hi, Justin. Hi. Yeah, these are going to be really, really freaking cool. It is going to be using a, oh, donut. Thank you. Thank you. It is going to be using a functioning bolt catch right here. Locks back into place. Dial style hop chamber, rotary style hop up. So you can easily adjust for whatever your needs are. The front sight is integrated into the rail itself. Doesn't look like there's anything there. Voila! Pops right out very easily. Full Picatinny rail, or you can mount whatever accessories you like on here. But it is compatible with other 416 style rail systems on the market, so just keep that in mind as well. Let's go ahead and fire this bad boy, why don't we? Oh, that was a very good donut. But it is still very hot in here, so I don't know if that was the right move. Let's do some full auto, why don't we? Very, very, very cool. And again, for like what, less than $300, you're going to be able to get this platform, which again makes it very easy to really get into that whole sort of like Milsim vibe, right? Again, this makes getting into the Milsim scene very easy. You can very well still go with pretty much any M4 that you want, right? But for guys that want to go that extra mile, have something that would look the part, right, of say someone who is maybe, you know what, maybe some form of like special forces soldier, right, or some SOCOM unit, and they wanted to get something that was going to be a little bit more affordable, then yeah, I would totally say pick up the Competition 416, right? Absolutely. I wish this was available when I was getting into Airsoft. This kind of reminds me originally of, not saying it's the same, but it does remind me of the G&G CMF 16 for those of you guys that remember. Those guys used to be like a lot more affordable, and unfortunately they did go up in price. I get it, G&G sets the price, nothing we can do about it. But those used to be a lot more affordable, and I used to think, man, this is going to change the game. It's going to make it so much easier for players to go ahead and build their like Milsim loadout, and they increase the price. And fuck, right? Like, what are we supposed to do, right? Like now $300 something, and there's still full polymer construction. Not like full, but like they are still using a polymer upper and lower receiver. And while this is still using poly construction, this is going to be still fully upgradable and less than $300. So yeah, definitely freaking worth copying one of these bad boys. And again, order one of these guys before the deadline, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Thursday, and you're going to get a shot at winning a $4,300 Champions Free giveaway. Just throwing that out there, right? The next one is going to be one of my personal favorite guns out of the year. Is going to be the Zion Arms R15 in bronze. Now, this is a gun that let's adjust one himself a custom high cap on IG. Hey, congratulations! Hi, Isaias. How are you? This is from Amy Matthews. Well, I am good. How are you guys doing? I forgot to ask. How's your guys' weekend going so far? Is it going good? I'd like to hear how you guys' day going so far. I don't want to be selfish. Let's see here. Can I put the 1913 rail backplate from the original Zion Arms on my R15? Zion 1913 backplate on my R15. Not that I'm aware. I know what you're talking about, like the rail end, back end. I'm not too sure actually about that one. I'm like Chad, let me know if that's possible. I'm not 100% certain if that actually is 100% doable. Considering this is still using a regular buffer tube. I mean, it could be possible. I'm just not 100% certain. I'll get back to you on that one. If anything, DM me. DM us on Discord. I can get back to you with a solid answer on that one. I can find out for sure for you. But yeah, this is the Zion Arms R15. The R15 was like one of the coolest guns, right, to come out in 2023. But again, I refer to this as like the best bang for your buck high-end AEG that you can get on the market, right? And for good reason. There are plenty of brands out there that will charge $300+ for an airsoft gun that doesn't come included with any programmability on their MOSFET, if they even have a MOSFET in the first place, right? They don't have a Type 4 barrel. They don't have a quick change spring system. They don't use a rotary style hop-up chamber. Like, there's a lot of guns out there that are just so outdated and still like really high in price. And sometimes it makes me wonder, like, what the fuck am I paying for, right? Like, what is the whole point? I want to be able to get something that's going to be a fair price if I'm going to be spending over $300, right? $300+ to me, that signifies that's the benchmark for, okay, this is high-end territory now, right? Sub 300, I would understand it if there's maybe not as many features, right? But even then, the gap I feel like between beginner mid-tier guns and like high-end stuff, I feel like is shrinking like slower and slower. But I still think that $300 benchmark is still like a good like dividing line between high end and like mid tier slash beginner, right? But for $315, because that's how much the R15s cost for, right? For 300 or yeah, no, $325. You are going to be getting a full metal construction, and it has this absolutely beautiful finish. I don't know if you guys can see that with the lighting on here. It looks absolutely phenomenal. So many of the mods, so many of the guys that I know like have personally picked one of these guys up, and they love them. They absolutely love these things, and for good reason, right? They feel great, they look great, and they shoot absolutely great. It is going to be using a functional bolt catch, right? So you can go and take a look at that. Kind of hard to show it off on stream. There you go, right? And you go and push the release. There you go. The bullet release releases it. It's going to come included with this sick mid-cap magazine. 603 Type 4 inner barrel, rotary style hopper chamber, quick change spring system. And it actually is going to have the Nebula MOSFET pre-installed. Nebula MOSFET's cool because it actually offers programmability. So you can program it to shoot 2-round bursts, 3-round bursts, 4-round bursts. There's even a binary trigger function on here. So meaning every time you pull the trigger once, it shoots. Let go again, and it'll shoot again, which is actually really, really sick. Now, granted, that really depends on the field that you're playing at, allowing that in the first place, right? Some fields just don't allow for binary function, and that's totally understandable. It's their field, their rules. But on the off chance that the ref or the field rules allow you to use a binary function, so long as it's actually programmed into the gun, then yeah, it's going to be there, ready for you to use. Let's go ahead and shoot this bad boy, why don't we? Now, it is going to be rewired here. However, it is going to be using the buffer tube mainly as its battery space, so it's not going to offer a whole lot. However, it is still very easy to access because of the Delta stock. This is like quickly becoming my favorite stock. The Delta stock is really cool because it is very reminiscent of like the Magpul, like CTR, MOE stock. There's a little button right here. Press that down. And that whole thing comes undone, and you can access the battery part right there. Go ahead and flip this back up. And that's it. That's all you got to do. It is such an easy way to access because I love this style of stock. I have a bunch of like the Magpul ones on a lot of my personal guns, or like the, I have some of those. But I wish that these Delta stocks came out sooner because, again, it just makes life so much easier. Any more questions? Because yes, when you put the gun back. Looking back, that did very strange in regards to your comment. Okay, you're not missing anything. That R15 gives me wants with all the black accessories would look so good. Dude, okay, yes, absolutely. One of these guys with solid black accessories, right? Like, again, we put like the sort of Lancer T1 on here, sort of like an AFG. It looks clean. It looks good, right? Personally, I want the inverse. I want the black one, but I want the bronze rail on here, right? Kind of reminds me of another gun that's pretty damn cool, but we're going to bring that up in just a second. Let's go ahead and shoot this bad boy, right? Going to go ahead and just do some semi. I am dumb because I forgot to load this magazine. Let's go ahead and just load it with a few rounds, just so you can go ahead and see what semi shows. And then I'll go ahead and put it in full auto as well. Go ahead and load it with a little more. Okay, let's see. Grab this magazine. Honestly, I want these mags sold individually. I'm just saying. Zion, you know what you're doing with these mags. Sell them. All right, so we're going to load this up. And it is a mid-cap magazine, so you're not going to have to worry about any sort of winding wheel. Again, I feel like that is another feature that I feel like a lot of high-end guns should offer. If you're already paying for a high-end gun, you might as well throw in a nice quality mid-cap as well. There are still plenty of like high-end shit out there that still offers like the same crappy like high-cap magazine, which again, I get it. High caps are cheap, right? They're going to keep the cost down, but come on. How much does it cost really to go ahead and just throw in a nice mid-cap? Oh, snaps right into place. Now we can go ahead and shoot this bad boy. Look at that trigger. It's just not a whole lot of travel at all. It's just so nice. Let's go ahead and do some full auto. It's hard to do this when I'm also streaming. Oh yeah. No, this thing is fucking fast. This thing is so freaking cool to shoot. I absolutely love shooting the R15. Actually, one of my mods, Stitch is here. Stitch! On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like your R15? Nice. Oh, you're not shy anymore. You wanna bring a chair and pop a squat, hang out with me?
Sure.
All right, there you go. I convinced them to come on. Here, let me go ahead and grab a mic for you. I was just a matter of time. I knew I was gonna be able to convince them at some point. Go ahead and turn this bad boy on, and you should be good. Yeah, stand still. How you doing, by the way?
Hey, hanging in there.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna scooch back. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna move that. For those that don't know, this is Stitch. He's actually one of the mods and honestly one of our good friends that's been hanging out with us for a while. He's been a big part of the Mayo Gang, big help to us on our Discord server. If you guys don't know what he is, make sure to go ahead and check him out. He's actually been a guest on my stream, the No Flight List live stream, I think 2 weeks ago.
A few weeks ago, yeah.
A few weeks ago. I just he's been a guest of mine, and honestly, I get to see him like fairly frequently because he's in the store very regularly. He's actually helped me out on a few Instagram videos as well. So if you were wondering who this person was, that's actually him. That's actually Stitch. But yes, out of curiosity, because again, I know you own one of the R15s. We were just talking about this bad boy. What would you say is like your impressions of the gun itself now that you've had it for a little while? Like, what are your honest thoughts about it, both good and bad? If there are bad thoughts, I like to know too.
So for me on an R15, I really enjoyed the, I guess you could say, modern take on an M4 that it has.
Sure.
Cuts are different, fairly unique. The weight is lighter. It is a really lightweight full metal R15 replica.
Mm-hmm.
That having been said, I think the only downside for me is it doesn't have a dust cover, and that's not a downside for a lot of people. It's just for me aesthetically, I kind of like having a dust cover and a working bolt catch. Yeah, the bolt catch works.
Oh, okay. Oh, but you meant like
not having that dust.
Yeah,
cover. That's about the only nitpick that I have for an R15.
Performance-wise, was there anything that you were like hoping more for, or because do you own any other high-end like I guess $300+ AUVs? Do you own any other like brands or other models?
So I've got a few. I'm currently running a modified SEMA. It's an M4 that was themed for Resident Evil.
Oh, okay. Is it the SEMA Platinum series or?
Yeah, it is a Platinum.
Okay.
And it has a huge downside in the microswitch trigger is something that needs to be changed right away. But I'm waiting on MGC4s. Ordered a couple of those. Both the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. But really, as far as performance, it's got a solid rate of fire. I did do the 25K motor upgrade. Accuracy is decent. It's lightweight. Haven't had any real complaints, really.
Okay. So, but like compared to the other guns that you've had, I guess we'll compare it to the SEMA Platinum. SEMA Platinum cost how much? At least when you bought it?
About the same, about $320, $330.
Okay. Comparatively, would you say that it's like comparable as far as like performance wise, or would you say that the R15 is like definite improvement over it? Just out of curiosity.
So the externals, the looks, fit, and feel on an R15 is better than the SEMA Platinum that I have.
Okay.
The only advantage that the SEMA Platinum has is rate of fire. It's got different gearing.
Okay.
So the Platinum series comes with 13-to-1 gears. So off the bat with an 11.1, I'm getting it's 28 RPS. Yeah.
You're gonna be getting a definite like rate of fire improvement like once you swap out the gears. So I mean that's just like science, right? Yeah. Like, but yeah, honestly, that's a fair assessment. Okay, do you think that if we were to pair this up, then like to get an R15 with 13-to-1 gears, do you think then it should be shooting faster? Because even with 13-to-1s, 28, I feel like that's a little low.
So, in all honesty, though, what field lets you really
that's the thing. That's the other thing too, right? Like, what field is gonna let you go full auto anyway, right? Like, I guess more so for me, the reason why I go with like lower ratio gear sets or with those high rate of fire builds is typically solely out of trigger response, right? That's usually something I like to go with, so, like gears like that, and then maybe swap the motor for like a high torque, right? That's usually the setup that I typically go with, but. Again, that's just me. You're right. Like, what other field is gonna fucking let you use full auto at that point?
Yeah, on the field, it's not gonna be any real huge difference. It just sounds cooler. But honestly, the externals on an R15 are better.
Okay.
That's an easy thing to state right off the bat. Other than that, they're both great replicas. I will say that I love my R15 enough to get it Cerakoted.
Yeah, this man, for those that didn't know, like, have you posted pictures on Discord?
So I posted a picture of the rail and the buffer tube being done. Right now, it's back in the shop because I'm getting the body. I actually disassembled the body, and it's getting Cerakoted in the same color. So it'll be bull shark gray all the way through when it comes out.
This man Cerakoted his R15, like the color that he got. You got the gray one, right? You originally got the gray, and it looked nice, but you figured, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and Cerakote the entire thing. And he actually did it. Like when it comes back, make sure you post pictures in Discord.
Will
I want to
do.
see how that looks like. By the way, I also forgot to mention that I actually did really appreciate your BB Wars loadout. I actually thought that was really cool. I like the whole multicam black. I love solid multicam black loadouts and black kits. It looks good. It looks good.
Yep, I'm ready for October when it
Yeah,
rolls around.
honestly, that was the biggest shock to me is that we were going to be doing another one in SoCal. Like, I guess enough people asked for it, right? That it was like, all right, yeah, no, it's first one was successful. Texas is obviously always going to be successful. D14, love you guys. But yeah, no, I was shocked that we were going to be able to go ahead and get one, especially at SC Village. That's going to be huge.
Mhm.
Because I mean, you got to think about it too. It's not just like the people that are going for BB War specifically, but then you also have the regular players too that just want to show up regularly, and now they're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess I'm part of this now. Honestly, I don't know how it's gonna go down. It's gonna be a lot of people. I mean, better for us, right? We're gonna have a target-rich environment.
Yeah.
What's your prediction? Do you think it's gonna be more rebels or more empire? It's usually more rebels most of the time, but what do you think this time around?
Hard to say because some of the guys that go to SC Village will go in full
Full
kit.
kit, right?
So I would say it's still more likely that you're going to have a lot of rebels there. So anybody that wants to join the Empire,
You know what to
represent.
do. Wear your multicam, wear any camouflage to go ahead and curb stomp boas into the ground, man.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting day though. Looking forward to it.
Let's see. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Which is phone. All right, yeah, not sending any questions right now. But yes, we were talking about the MGC4. That was going to be the other gun that I actually wanted to go ahead and show off on stream. Now this, go ahead and show that up, is the MGC4 Mark II. Now this one, I know you have a pre-order for it. Which, by the way, I did see your question. I asked Cisco. He doesn't know yet whether yours is on the cut, so I'm waiting for him to get back to me so I can actually give you for sure whether yours
No
is on
problem.
the
Was just curious.
I just didn't have the list on me. But yes, this is going to be the MGC4 Mark II. For those that were asking, yes, it does have the little rail block here. So that is going to be like filled in. So you're not going to have to worry about that. We're going to be putting those together and we're going to be start shipping them out. I think I forgot the ETA that we were given. It was like late June, if I'm not mistaken. Late June, if I'm not mistaken about that. But again, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, they are going to be coming out very, very fucking soon. Why don't you go ahead and hold that for me as well? Full metal construction throughout. This is going to be like the second iteration, hence the Mark II. The Mark I was a really dope project, and then we're really proud that it came out as successful as it did. However, the Mark II was pretty much something that the next step, right? It was the next evolution of the gun itself. We wanted to go ahead and, instead of just doing a regular SBR build like we did with the last one, we wanted to go ahead and bring it back to a carbine length. Because the carbine length seems to be very popular with a lot of people, a lot of myself included. Do you prefer SPRs or carbines typically? I feel like you do carbines for some reason more.
So actually, I do both pretty commonly.
Okay.
Right now, I use the SBRs a lot because I've been playing indoor.
Yeah, yeah.
And indoor, 2 inches shorter is still a little bit quicker that you can turn that corner.
Yeah, yeah.
But that having been said, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for carbines. The only ones I don't use a lot of is I don't use a lot of full rifle size.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, this is one thing I'm waiting for. Last update that they had on the other stream was June 24th was the estimated date for it to arrive at port.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, whatever time that customs takes to clear it. Just like we're waiting on the JAG TTI order to clear customs. And
you don't understand. It's so frustrating because it's there. It's like literally right there. It's in port. It's just fucking eight customs just doesn't want to release it, man. Like they're gonna release it. It's gonna be a matter of time, but it's just such a frustrating process. So if you guys have worked in like any sort of retail or any sort of like imports or like having to import products for a living, you guys know that it can be a bit of a nightmare having to wait for them. You're basically on government time. Oh, it's so frustrating. But yes, these are going to be coming soon. Honestly, I like this a lot. I think I'm more partial to the bronze rail version. Did you get the solid black or did you get the bronze rail?
So I got solid black, but it may go through the Cerakote process
again.
So what I'm looking at is similar to what I'm doing with my R15. I'm going to do the rail, body, and buffer tube. And right now I'm looking at doing midnight bronze.
Midnight bronze.
So it's going to be midnight bronze with black trim.
Is that like typically just like, because I forget like what the color looks like. Midnight bronze is basically it's like a super almost like black, like bronze, like almost hint of bronze in there.
It's just a little more brown than a regular bronze is. So actually, it'll be kind of similar to what you see on a Sand Viper.
Yeah. Oh, I love the Sand Viper.
Yeah.
That was some serious burst. Texas Patriot says yes, absolutely. That thing goes absolutely super fast, man. Let's see here. And if you guys haven't already, make sure to go ahead and like the live stream right now. It really helps us out, beat those YouTube algorithm gods. YouTube really does not like anything airsoft, and apparently neither does our government. So just keep that in mind. So here, let's see. Boston was going to say we will ship. Oh, the first 15 Mark II starting next week. There you go. The first 15 are going to start shipping out next week. The bulk are going to start shipping out afterwards. So there you go. You heard an update just from the boss man himself. I would try to find it again, but I don't think we saw where it was. All right. Yeah, I think we're caught up on the actual messages themselves. But why don't you go ahead and shoot this bad boy? Here, I got the camera right here. Go ahead and give it to you. There should be an 11-1 plugged in. Mag should be fully loaded. As if my memory serves me correctly.
Airsoft replica, safety gear up. All right.
Going to do some full auto.
Don't want to aim at the target. Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah. No, like we wanted to make sure that this gun was going to be up to the spec and the standard that everyone wanted, because the original MGC4 came out and it was just slightly slower than this. But that was one thing that we got a lot of comments on, was that hey, we wanted to shoot a little faster, we want a little bit better trigger response. So we said sure, why not? So we had to increase the price slightly, but we were still able to go ahead and keep it at an affordable price point. Right now we just have it decorated up. This is going to be Cisco's. But yeah, this is one gun that I'm like super excited to get my hands on. And honestly, I probably am going to go on and pick it up. I was actually contemplating either picking up the Classic Army, the MK16, the longer one with the bronze rail. And I was like, you know what? Because I'm not going to see a carbine link with that sort of like M-Lock style rail, especially in burnt bronze already. I'm just going to go ahead and buy it. And then I see the Mark II come out, and then it has the bronze rail on there. I'm like, fuck! I have to go ahead and pick that up. But we're actually already, kind of in the works. Maybe thinking about doing a third one. Now, Boaz had his idea of using making a honey badger for the Mark III. What would you like to see? Because you're obviously a mod. You've spent a lot of time on the Discord, hanging out with a lot of the other mods and a lot of the regulars and a lot of the airsofters in the community. What would you think would be a good option for the next iteration of the MGC4?
So I've heard a lot of people talking about getting something similar to like a SR25.
Oh, okay, like the DMR.
Like a DMR, yeah. And that would kind of be your growth range, right? You started off with an SBR, you're up to a carbine, and then a DMR would be a full size, right?
Yeah.
The honey badger is something that a lot of people have talked about, but the difficulty with a honey badger is you've got that battery space issue on the back, and then how you do the front is gonna really determine how it's going to look too. So you got a lot of people that are purists that you might not make happy if you've got a different back end, and then you got a lot of other people that be like, well, wow, I can fit like this teeny tiny little 600 milliamp battery, and that's all I can fit. So
the hardest problem we're having right now is, believe it or not, is actually going to be the rail system. Being able to find a mock suppressor that can actually
fit inside,
that can fit inside, because the mock suppressor that you get on honey badgers isn't like super thin either. It's actually kind of thick. So we have to go ahead and like find a rail system that will actually, one, obviously work, be compatible with it. It's not going to be super heavy, but that's also going to be able to accommodate such a thicker mock suppressor in there as well, because it is recessed. And that's a hard thing to do already on just like a regular custom build, let alone a gun that's going to come right out of the factory. I know there are a few Lancer Tactical Gen 2s and Gen 3s, like the LT15s, if you guys remember those. Those have an integrated suppressor, but we're not a huge fan of the way those look. It just, and then also it's not metal, So for $300 something, you would want like full metal construction. But for you personally, as a player, what would you like? Like disregarding everyone else, like what would you want to see for the third iteration?
So just being totally honest, I'm perfectly happy with the SBR and the carbine that's coming out.
You just want the two, and that's it. That's it. We're done. That's it. No more.
Not necessarily done, but again, if it's just my personal case, that's kind of my comfort zone where I'm happy. But I've heard a lot of people talking about, people that would be happy with an SR25 style build, and that would be slightly different too, in that you're going to the larger magazine.
Yeah,
you've got a different loadout or look that you'd be achieving. The honey badger again would be a different loadout or look. So and there's a lot of people that were indoor players that would be really excited for something that is CQB oriented. But again, making all those people happy with one product, that's really hard. Yeah.
Honestly, like if I had to pick where I'm more leaning towards, it's honestly the SR25 route. Like going with the 308 style AR is like, that's just hot. Like that's like, I look at that, I'm like, dude, fuck yeah. Like I want that. But the problem is too, it's also because it's another platform too. It's not just a standard M4. That is kind of making it a slightly harder sell. because a lot of people don't want to make the investment for additional magazines.
Mhm.
Maybe some people don't want to make the investment on getting different pouches for their setup. I don't care because again, I like 308 rifles and I like running weird shit, you know. But for some people, that just might not be a viable option. So again, I guess it's just going to be a matter of like seeing enough support, seeing enough people on Discord saying, "Hey, we have this many people," almost kind of like signing a signature, like for a petition, right? Wink, wink. Did you see that on Discord, dude? It like is that like I'm not hearing about this anywhere else on any news cycle or anywhere. This is like the first time I'm hearing any of this.
So you're talking about that regulation change thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of scary because it's something that the government literally could do fairly easily and say that, oh, we're trying to make it cheaper for us by outsourcing this, but then the requirement is going to be for the business to maintain all those records, and it's going to discourage like new manufacturers from joining into the business because they're going to be like, oh wait, now I've got to do all of this proof for something that's never even been challenged in how many years?
Yeah.
You know, we're already doing stuff like in the US, we've got mandatory orange tips for our replicas.
For our replicas,
right?
toys.
So it's all already there,
Mhm.
showing it, physically showing it. And yet you want us to now add a piece of paper that's going to sit there with a serial number for something that everybody already knows.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you look at it, when you buy from any reseller,
any airsoft retailer,
you know,
any
the federal
store,
requirement is to have that mandated orange tip,
orange flash hider on here.
right? So why do I need another piece of paper to say, oh yeah, this is a replica? It's really redundant, and it just adds a cost.
And I don't want to hear the whole like, and again, like I'm not trying to be like super political here, but like I also don't want to hear the whole thing. Oh, it's to make it like safer. Like for who? It's not a legit argument at that point. Like who's gonna carry around a piece of paper for an airsoft gun? They're gonna carry around in public and be like, oh yeah, this is a toy. Like fucking, you know how you can tell it's a toy? You know how you can tell it's a toy? Here, do this. That's a toy. That's a toy right there. Yeah, you see that? That's a toy. I don't know how 5.56 bullets can fit through there, man. I don't know how that's possible. That's bullshit, like Houdini magic there, man. It's not happening, right? Or this, right? Freaking, this is a toy. This is a toy. I don't know how 45 can fit through there. I don't know. It just kind of angers me that like still to this day, in this day and age, where technology has advanced so far ahead, right? Beyond my comprehension. Then again, I'm stupid like a caveman, but beyond my comprehension as a normal human being, and yet we still are having this debate of whether or not we should like put more measures in place to make these. I don't know, man. It just pisses me off.
Here's the funny one for you.
Sure.
I was at a little store,
Mhm.
and they have kitchen knives, right?
Okay.
And on this kitchen knife box is a sticker, big old sticker that says "sharp." Really?
How much you want to bet someone went in, was like, oh, I wonder what this is, and like just cut themselves. Oh, this is really sharp. Why didn't they put a label?
Yep, big old sticker on a kitchen knife, not a butter knife, on an actual big old kitchen knife that says "sharp." And I'm sitting there going, this is a requirement. Why?
Why? Like the fuck? Who?
So, you know, it doesn't surprise me that they would require or ask such a thing. From what I'm seeing in the things that people are posting, there's an opportunity right now to say something about it.
Yes.
In which case, people saying something, and be really careful what you say. You want to
be professional.
Yep, you want to phrase it nicely and politely. But, you know, just telling them that, hey, our industry has not been challenged for decades on this. Our industry has been proactively safe and already has requirements that clearly indicate that these are replicas or toys.
And can it be shown that it encourages safety in firearms ownership, whether it be real or for replica use? Like, it doesn't matter. We encourage safety above all else.
Right.
There's nothing inherently dangerous about airsoft.
And all this isn't adding anything that's more safe. It's just adding a cost. All it is adding a paper trail and then having to pay for enforcement of that paper trail. So you're not just talking about adding the cost of, oh, I print a paper and keep it for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about, I print a paper, keep it for 10 years, and an organization has to go nationwide saying, hey, I want to audit your stuff. Waste our time, waste their time. I mean, I don't want my taxpayer dollars paying
going
for
towards that. Like, were you kidding me? Just to make sure that this airsoft gun is an airsoft gun? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So, you know, again, it's redundant. It doesn't add any benefit other than, Oh, I actually have paper now, and I'm required to keep it for 10 years.
Oh, how lovely.
My
That's what I was
replica,
missing.
I'm lucky if it lasts 10 years, to be
Bro,
honest.
yeah, man. Like, I mean, I do have some guns that are like around that old, but yeah, like, if if your airsoft gun lasts that long before, like, because a lot of airsoft, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of airsofters like to sell their shit, right? They like to sell their shit, or they like to go ahead and just upgrade the fuck out of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, or I'd be surprised if it even lasted 10 years at that point.
Yeah. So again, that particular thing is not logical.
It's not proactive. It's not constructive in any means. It's
Yeah.
not adding anything. It is literally a fucking waste and actually can do some serious harm for the future of airsoft.
Yeah, no, it's an active deterrent.
Yeah.
It's really similar to some of the things that they've done in other countries like Canada, for example.
Or Australia.
Yeah, well, Canada just dodged the bullet
Yeah.
barely, but even the changes that they had to accept are really restricting what they can get.
Mhm.
So
Even gel blasters, man. Like, that's
well, they're saying that this new thing is going to impact
Mhm.
just about everything.
Everything.
Paintball, airsoft, gel blasters. And, again, we're in the sport to have fun and to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what is fun about a piece of paper and keeping it sitting somewhere for 10 years? There's nothing fun about that.
No.
And does it really increase safety? No. All it's
Fuck
really
no.
there for is to add a cost and maybe make a difference in a lawsuit.
As
Oh my
in
goodness.
not actually going to work.
Yeah, it's not something that's really going to encourage safety. And safety is the goal, right? We want us to be safe when we play. We want kids to be safe when they play. So that, to me, makes sense. Safety makes sense. But doing something that's literally just a cost and a paper trail, to me, feels like they're trying to attack the industry.
It's literally just a big middle finger and a
Yeah.
deterrent to try to get less people into it, which it really pisses me off because I've worked so fucking hard to try to make this hobby and just the whole airsoft community as a whole very accessible to everyone. I've tried to make it as easy to get into airsoft as it can possibly be. I like make it super simple to know exactly what guns to get. Gun safety, right? Like pick up a gun bag. Make sure you transport it inside something so it's not out in the open, so you're not brandishing your weapon. Make sure you're buying eye protection or some form of PPE to protect your face. Or to make sure you're not taking it out in public spaces. Make sure that you're playing with it only on private property in a place where no one can see you, ideally,
and
safely again. So you're not getting anyone else involved that doesn't want to play consensually, right? Like that's the whole point. So this just feels like a big like fuck you to all the work that GI, not even just myself, but GI has put into it, and everyone in the community has done to try to encourage safety and get more people into it. I don't think there's even enough time on the stream to really like go like further into it. Honestly, it pisses me off. But
again, say something if you can.
Yes.
Say it nicely. Say it politely. And some people actually do see benefit in like reaching out to your representatives. Although in California that might not go over so well, but other people in other friendlier states, reach out to your representatives and say, "Hey guys, this doesn't do anything except discourage innovation, new businesses, and existing businesses."
Yeah,
that's all it's really here for. Because let's think about it logically, right? They want the businesses to keep paper trail on this stuff. But what other paper trail is there? It's not like real steel where you actually have ownership via registration, right? Customer comes in, they show their proof of age, they make their purchase, they go home.
That's it. That's literally all that's required.
Right. And expecting the business to keep track in paper of all the stuff that's going out of the business and then they don't know where it goes after, it makes no logical sense. It doesn't. So again, just tell them this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't encourage safety or safe changes, right? All it does is add a cost and discourage people. And that's not right.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. And if you guys haven't already, make sure to go ahead and check out the Discord page. The link to the whole, if you guys want to see the entire like PDF of the entire bill that's been trying to best, go ahead and check it out. I highly recommend you do. And there is a section for you to go ahead and leave a comment that will be read by an employee there. So make sure to go ahead and fill that out. Again, just be smart, be appropriate when your response. Don't be mean. Don't try to harass anyone. That's just not going to get anywhere. It's going to be very counterintuitive. Just be very constructive when you are giving your criticisms. I think, honestly, that's about it. All right, I think we've pretty much covered everything on the stream. Thank you, man, for actually coming in. I know it's like kind of last minute, but I appreciate you coming on.
And there's where the Pit Viper was.
There's where the Pit Viper. This is our one Pit Viper that we have for marketing. All right, guys. My name is Isaias. We're going to be going live again on Monday. Cisco is going to be going live, going over some new products as well. So make sure that you tune in for that. And then also Tuesday, I'll be going live in the storefront as well. In addition, on Tuesday night on our main YouTube channel, I also have my No Flightless live stream. That's going to be going down at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Because last minute for the promo, make sure to go ahead and pick up an Airsoft pistol that is $100 or more. When you pick one up before Monday night, you'll be getting 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. You do not want to go ahead and miss out on your chance at winning $4,300. My money is still betting on him. I still think it's only going to be a matter of time before you win. I'm being serious. I think it's only a matter. It's literally you've been smart. You've been taking advantage of all the promos that we have going on. So wouldn't be surprised if you end up winning. But again, my money's on you. But literally, it can go to anyone. Anyone has a chance. For the last couple weeks, it's been nothing but first-time shoppers, one-time purchasers. You guys absolutely have a shot. Make sure to place your orders before it's too late. My name is Isaias. This is Stitch.